What's going on, you guys? This is New York Adventurer 1994 here. It is Wednesday, January 3rd, 2024. And I want to talk about the earthquake that has hit New York City. Yeah, of all places, an earthquake hit New York City. First we had an earthquake in Japan, and then California, and then we had one in Yellowstone. We're starting 2024 off with earthquakes, and of all the places, it had to happen in New York City. And New York City doesn't really get earthquakes, it's not a thing. But it happened yesterday at 5:45 in the morning, and this happened in Roosevelt Island. So we have a 1.7 magnitude earthquake that have hit the New York City area at 5:45 in the morning, and that's when the calls happen. And 1.7, not really a huge earthquake, but there was still a lot of shaking, and some people felt it. There was a lot of people that felt it. They felt the shaking somewhere. They don't know what it was. It happened on all four buildings, and there was a lot of people that went outside because of all the commotion that was going on. And this earthquake brought a lot of power outages to that area, and people had no idea what the shaking was, so they went out to see what was going on. And it happened to all four of the buildings, and this happened in Roosevelt Island in Queens, and this happened like right near where Story is, and that's not too far away from LaGuardia Airport. So there was a lot of fire department. There was a lot of the fire department on the scene. Yeah, the fire department was involved in the whole thing, and there was like a majority of firemen on the scene, and there was a lot of power outages, but thankfully there was no damage or injuries reported, and they went to check the structure of the building. So this was a crazy situation that happened in New York City. New York City doesn't really get earthquakes. It's not really a thing again, but people were really nervous of what was going on. We're not really used to these kind of earthquakes to happen. We're not used to any earthquakes, but it was really a shocker to everyone to have experienced it in New York City. But thankfully no one was hurt, but these people sure were nervous of what was happening because they never really experienced this kind of stuff. And even if they did feel an earthquake, if you guys live in New York City all these years, you're gonna forget what an earthquake felt like. Possibly. 1.7 is not really a strong earthquake, but the New York City area didn't know what was going on. So it turns out they did feel a little something, because this doesn't really happen in New York City. Oh yeah, that's not the only thing I want to talk about. I want to talk about the last time we saw an earthquake. And this goes back to 2011 with the Virginia earthquake. So it was a 5.8 that actually struck the state of Virginia, and so many people along the eastern seaboard felt it. They felt some shaking, like from miles away. It was a 5.8 magnitude earthquake, and that is strong. And I remember where I was that day, believe it or not. I was actually in the park with my friend Kyle and his brothers and his mom. And my mom like arranged a little get together with me and Kyle at the playground. Like my mom, my brothers, and me went to the town hall playground to meet up with my friend Kyle and his brothers and his mom. And we hung out at the playground at the town hall for a few hours, and after like an hour at the playground, my mom and my brother felt the shaking, but I didn't feel anything while I was hanging out with Kyle. And then my brothers and my mom found out it was an earthquake, and they started getting all nauseous, and We had to head home early because of what was going on, because they didn't feel right after that. It felt like some kind of 2.0 in our area, but this was truly a 5.8. Because 2.0s are meant to be felt by certain people, like sensitive people, who could feel effects from such things. But I didn't really feel anything, thank goodness. I was like busy hanging out with my friend. But my mom and my brother felt nauseous after that. They felt the shaking from the earthquake. That we had to leave after an hour because of what was going on. And this happened a week before Hurricane Irene hit our area. It's crazy. You're in the same month between an earthquake and a hurricane hitting in the same month. And we lost power for like 5 days from that hurricane. So in the same month you experience an earthquake and a hurricane happening all in 1 month. It's wild. August 2011 was a wild month. It was just crazy. I remember Hurricane Irene. The winds were like wicked. But they weren't as wicked as Sandy was. That one was a disaster. But it's really crazy to feel a hurricane and an earthquake in 1 month in a place that doesn't really get these things. Yeah, this Virginia earthquake was wild. Almost the entire eastern seaboard felt it. Like, especially the people in Virginia, but only over here in Long Island, some people didn't really feel it, but some sensitive people did. Felt the effects from such a thing. So yeah, we have an earthquake that hit New York City, and I guess that's it.